Good afternoon, Bruin fans, and welcome to a special edition of Something Bruin here with it being homecoming week. And currently here on the phone here we have former Western Branch varsity football coach Dick Arculin. Coach Arculin, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Mark. I wish I was there to
Right.
celebrate homecoming. I was able to be at the Indian River game last week, and that was a big win for the Bruins. I was really excited for them.
Yes, boy, it's they were definitely here. We'll start off talking about that game. I mean, Indian River's head coach is a Bruin alum. Played for Coach Jay there in the early 2000s, and boy, Coach Cook's team scoring 45 points and made the stops they needed to win by 3 touchdowns.
They really did. I tell you, Coach Cook is doing a phenomenal job. I've been in the locker room with him, with him and his players, and the way he addresses the team and talks to the team, and the image he presents to the team, and his priorities. I'm just really impressed with him. He's a great person and a great coach.
Right. Yes. And yeah, I know that my sister and I grew up with his older brother Malik, and the funny thing is, and I guess it's how time flies. I mean, when he was a senior at Western Branch, I had just started at the shipyard, so I remember hearing about him playing there in that '97 team, but really didn't get a chance to see him play since I was just starting my career there at the shipyard.
I'll tell you, he took a photo of me and him on the field last week after the Indian River game, and I told him, I said, it's hard to believe that I'm standing here with you, the current head football coach, and here I was the head football coach in 1972, and I said, that's over 50 years ago. And we're standing in the same spot, and that's how time flies for me.
Right. Well, hey, and let's go back there to when you were part of Bruin football. I mean, I started this podcast last year, and the week of homecoming last year, I got Mr. Brander on the phone, and he talked about the start of Western Branch and the colors and the football. And so, what led you to work there at Western Branch and lead the football program?
Okay, I played for Coach Brander, Mr. Brander, at Churchland High School.
Right.
He was the head football coach in the season of 63 and 64. I graduated in 65, but I played for him during the seasons of 64 and 65 at Churchland.
Right.
And he was actually my physics teacher also. And, he turned the Churchland football program around. We were going through some hard times, and my junior and senior year, we were 7-3 both years and had real good teams. And he was real instrumental in getting me a scholarship to Guilford College, which is out now in the ODAC.
Yeah.
And I played for Guilford for 4 years, and I was the team captain my senior year. And during the summers before I reported to Guilford for football practice, I'd work out with the Churchland team at the time. Coach Brandon was the head coach, of course.
Right.
And so after the 4 years, when I graduated from Guilford, I got a phone call from him, and he said he was looking for an assistant coach. And he said, what my major was. So I went down and met with him, and before I know it, I'm sitting there, and he's hired me as a assistant football coach teaching business education.
Right.
And this is in 1970 now. So,
Right.
So I started in 1970.
Right.
He had just been promoted to principal.
Okay.
And Harry Betts had taken over as the head coaching job. So I was with Harry with Harry Betts 1970-71 as a defensive coordinator. And after 2 years, Harry left, and Mr. Brandon called me in his office and said, "You're the next head football coach at Western Branch." And I said, "Wait a minute now." I said, "I've only been here 2 years." I said, "You think I'm ready?" He goes, he said, "I know you're ready."
Right.
So I always joked with him about it. I said, "This could have been a disaster." But fortunately, I ended up winning a lot more games than I lost. and that included 3 championships. So we had a good run there at Western Branch from 72 to 85.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, even when my brother and I were at Western Branch, I mean, we didn't play football, but, just with, back then, the Southeastern District was Chesapeake and Portsmouth, and definitely quality football.
Absolutely. I tell you, we had a 10-team district, and it was smash mouth football back during those days.
Right. And let's see, Coach Gaines and Coach Jay, they helped you along the way also, right?
Yeah, Coach Johnson was my assistant coach. Was one of my assistant coaches the entire time when I was at Western Branch High School.
Okay.
From 1972 as head coach until 1985. Coach Jay was one of my assistants, and he was a brilliant football mind back then as he is now. Right. And totally dedicated, great person, and we had a lot of success together. And also had some other great assistant coaches also, Willie Inman, Jerry Carter, Noble Palmer, Ricky Bright, Coach Gaines, just to mention a few, and even Coach Stanko.
Okay.
Worked with us for a couple of years. We had some real quality coaches.
Right. Yeah, and even before he went to Virginia Tech, John Boleyn was associated with Western Branch football, right?
He was, and he came right after I left.
Oh, okay.
Came right after I left.
All right. Well, hey, so let's see. So let's see. So you were an assistant for 2 years, and then being the head coach for 13 years. And I know that Rashad has when I meet with him on Thursday late afternoons, we've been spotlighting different Bruin teams over the years here during the season. And I know that you sent me a text, so just I know that you're following Western Branch and the experience that you guys had with leading Bruin football there in the 70s and up to the mid 80s.
Exactly. So I'm not getting what you're asking me.
Right. No, I was just saying how you started as an assistant in 1970 and then leading the head coach there from 72 to 85, and then even to this year, you just keep up with the program, and you send me a text to talk about some of the players that went on that played for you and went on to the next level.
Absolutely. I tell you, like I said, I do wear blue, navy blue and gold underwear, so I'm a Bruin through and through.
Yeah.
And from the time I left Western Branch in 85 to currently, I've seen at least 2 games every year, because I live up in Winchester, Virginia now. Right. Is my primary residence. Mm-hmm. And I do have a getaway place at Virginia Beach that we go to. But I've been able to see at least 2 games a year since 85 to currently. So it's I look forward to every second I can spend out on Bruin Field. Right.
Yes. Yeah. And I know that the excitement is back here with Rashad leading the program, with being an alum, and just how connected he is to people that laid the foundation before he got the head coaching job.
And he puts a lot of importance with that too. He really, when I met him the first time, I mean, I was just well received by him, hugs and just elated and I felt really honored that he was now the head football coach at Western Branch, being the outstanding person that he is, and. I tell you, he means a lot to that football team. I can tell you, he's going to get the most out of every one of those kids, not only as a football player but as a person.
Right. Yes, and with working at the shipyard, one of the guys that I ran into was Rock Fussell, and he was talking about playing for you back in the day.
Well, he was a hard rock Fussell. I tell you what, when you talk about a football player, then he is the true bona fide football player through and through. And his name, Rock, the nickname that he was given, says everything about him, because he was truly a rock, not only as a player but as a person, as a personality, as a leader. He's been one of my favorite of all time.
Yes, and you bring up Ricky Bright. I know that Mr. Bright taught my brother and I driver's ed. So did he play for you there when he was a student?
Yes, he did. He graduated the class of 1970. Well, he played. I coached him during the season of 1970.
Okay.
He was a quarterback for the Bruins then.
Oh,
and
okay.
Of course, I was, assistant coach working with the defense, but he was our QB, and he was a good one too.
Right.
And a strong leader and a great person.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And it's just amazing how I know with newer schools, opening up and, over the last probably 20, 25 years, but, just the great connection of growing up here in the Western Branch community and being part of, the Western Branch football program, and see how, people that were, part of the Bruin football program, and then even today not being a part of it for coaching, but how many people still follow and are interested on how the Bruins do on Friday nights.
That's the first thing I do if I'm not there at the game. I'm there for a couple of games, but every Friday night at around 11 o'clock, right, I get on my phone and go to the WBHS scoreboard to see how the Bruins did.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And I know that. Let's see. I know homecoming's tomorrow, and then they got at Deep Creek next Friday, and then the last Friday of the month will be their senior night, and they have Oscar Smith coming.
And I tell you what, I've got a feeling that they may upset Oscar Smith on that Friday night, because I tell you, Western Branch has everything it needs to beat them this year. Right. And it's going to take everything they've got to do it.
Yeah. Are you let's see, I know that we're still a couple weeks away. Does it look like that you might be able to come here in a couple weeks?
I would love to, and I still have hopes that I can make it, but I'm going to be in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
My wife and I are going to visit her sister, okay, and I'm hoping that we're getting back on the Wednesday of that week, and I'm hoping that maybe I can jump in my car and drive for 5 hours and be at the ball game. I'm gonna try my best.
All right. Well, hey, with having your cell number, I mean, I do keep Mr. Brander updated, and he also said to say hi, and definitely talked about his connection with you. Starting out with Churchland and then moving on to Western Branch.
Yeah, I owe a lot to him. He's a great person, and his life speaks for itself. He's been all about education and kids, and he was the consummate principal to work for as the head football coach. There's nothing I ever asked him for that he said no when I needed something, and it's great. A lot of friends of mine in coaching work for principals that did not really particularly care for athletics or football teams,
right.
believe it or not. But anyway, he is the man.
Right. Yes, and let's see. I know that my wife started working with Miss Klein back in 2017, and I don't think when I was a student at Western Branch, I didn't go to the principal's office that much, and didn't go to the main office, so I don't think that I talked to Miss Klein too much. But when she started working with my wife, they hit it off, and she's interested on how Western Branch is doing, with her long time working at the high school.
I tell you, there's no finer person in this world than Ann Klein. I tell you, she is. I love that. I love her to death. I tell you, she is probably. You're talking about the Bruin fan of all-time history. It's her. It's Ann Klein.
Yes, yeah, and actually, she's the one that gave me the idea to reach out to Mr. Brander last year, and we ended up doing a phone interview, and appreciate your time here, and glad that our schedules could connect, and you can talk about your time there with Bruin football.
And I thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate it, and I'll say just one final thing. Right. Go Bruins.
Go Bruins. Well, hey, so that was Coach Arculin that came to Western Branch here as an assistant football coach and teacher there in 1970, and then was the head coach there from 72 to 85. So, Coach Arculin, appreciate your time, and let's see if we don't see each other in person there at the end of the month. I'll definitely keep you updated, and go Bruins.
And I'm looking forward. If I don't make that game against Smith, I'm making with the playoff games.
Okay. All right. Yes. And it looks like the way that Western Branch has their schedule, that the first Friday in November of which is actually the last week of the regular season, that's when their bye week comes. And so the playoffs, I think, will start like Veterans Day weekend, or that second weekend in November.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate your time, especially this with being homecoming week, and have someone that was connected here to Bruin football. So thanks again, and have a good weekend there, Coach.
Thank you, Mark. See you soon.
All right. See you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. So that's a little just a great connection on what, being connected to Bruin football, and just the longevity here of, the history of former head coaches there with Bruin football, and how they're even interested to follow the program today. So, all right. Well, hey, hope everybody enjoys this broadcast, and appreciate Coach Arculin's time. And then Coach Cook and I will meet up later on today here for the regular episode of Something Bruin with Coach Cook. So, All right, so that's a wrap here, and go Bruins.